Hello everybody and welcome out to the Save Slot 3 Gamescast. I'm your host, who of Gizmo, joined this week by Massive Das.
Hello everyone.
And CW Lanky.
Hello, Dave.
Bobble's great, innit? Just want to let you know.
I actually remember nothing about that game other than that song.
That
The
song
song's
and
great.
two little dinosaurs. Two happy little
That's
dinosaurs.
it. Yeah.
Well, boys, it's been another week. We're actually somewhat on time. And we're going to be doing a little bit different this week. We're going to be having a Pengels newsroom. We're going to be talking about lots of different things. So, without further ado, let's head on over to the Pengels news desk.
It's time for some news. And
Wait, Pengi, we got an intro, Pengi. Hang on.
I can't hear the intro, so.
Oh. There we go. Pengels news desk.
Oh, thank you.
We'll get better.
Well, it's time for some news.
And
we have 9 items.
Which is, of course, a baker's dozen.
Yes. Yes, it could be. It's somewhere. I don't know where, but it could be.
Come on, Pengi. We've been doing this podcast for 9 years now. You got to be figuring it out.
The first thing on the news is SNK has announced a new Fatal Fury game, City of the Wolves, coming in 2025. Is he excited?
Craig, has your Fury ever been fatal?
No.
What about a city made of Wolverhampton Wanderers?
That sounds better.
Right.
No, it's just some hardcore fighting game thing.
Yeah, SNK, Neo Geo. It's got Terry Bogard in it, right, Chris? Is that?
Yes, who looks like he's gone to the same stylist as Ken from Street Fighter and Paul from Tekken.
Nice. I mean, I like Fatal Fury. I'm probably not going to buy it, but it'll be good when it comes to a
weird one to
compilation in
bring back.
about 4 years' time.
I'm surprised, it's not a new King of the Fighters from SNK. Because we haven't had Fatal Fury for a while. We had a Samurai Showdown a few years ago, because I remember playing that on Stadia. I think I might have played against you on that.
You did. I imagine I'd ground you into the dust.
Maybe. But yeah, it's an odd one to bring back. And it's not a fighting series I was, clamouring to be back. I would sooner see, Sega try to bring back Virtua Fighter or Dead Alive 7 from Tecmo. I would sooner have either of those two.
Isn't it? Surely that's what you want.
Pardon?
Isn't it the Sonic fighting games? That's what you want, isn't it?
Sonic Fighters? Oh,
yeah. I do think Virtua Fighter, they could add in some guest characters. You could easily put Kiryu or Ichiban from, like a dragon in it or something.
I really thought you were going to suggest Sonic the Hedgehog then.
No. I'm thinking you'd have to go fairly realistic characters, hence
right.
Kiryu or Ichiban. And obviously other Sega IPs. But yeah, out of Fighter series, it's not one that I was clamoring for.
Lovely.
Is this likely to be points on the Fantasy Critic next year? Because obviously people love fighting games.
No. I don't think so. I wouldn't.
Pengels has spoken.
Yeah. And I normally find the good fighting game, don't I? On the night. Rebirth 2, anyone? I am 2 on the news thing. We had a trailer for Marvel 1943 Rise of Hydra. This is from Skydance, which will be directed by Amy Hennig. So will it actually come out? Who knows? And this was at GDC, they showed this, and this is also coming in 2025.
Wasn't this the woman that was making that Star Wars game ages ago?
Yeah, she hadn't had a game come out since, I think it's Uncharted 2.
Oh, okay. That's not great.
It's not, because all their games get cancelled, like the Star Wars game, for instance. So
is that because they're not very good? Is Uncharted 2 good?
Uncharted 2 is very good.
Yeah?
Yes.
It is good, to be fair.
2009 that came out. That's a long time ago.
Me and Pengi were 19.
There you go. It's a PlayStation 3 game, boys. Yeah, it was a long trailer as well, wasn't it? 'Cause it was just basically a load of cinematics, right?
Well, I didn't even know it was a game. I'll be honest with you, because I didn't watch it in context, so I just saw the trailer and I was like, well, this looks like a cool film.
It's from the State of Unreal, and it's the Unreal Engine 5.4 update, I believe.
It's one of my favourite versions of Unreal, that Penguin.
Yeah, there was other bits and pieces, but this is the sort of big news. There was stuff showing the meta-human things and all that jazz, but this is, like I said, the big news from it. What I guess
Is
is
EA publishing this?
no, it's Skydance. So there must be a different Black Panther game or something from EA
Yeah.
or something. Yeah.
Yeah, because Amy
weird.
famously did a Star Wars prototype for EA that they cancelled, didn't they?
Yeah, which
So-
there was a Leaf trailer or something I remember of it, and it
Yes.
looked quite good. Yeah.
But I mean, I'm cautiously optimistic because I like the universe, and it's an interesting setting, being in World War II. It's a bit weird because to me that character has to be Chris Evans, so I'm always a bit weirded out when I see not Chris Evans as it.
Yeah.
Not of course the famous British TV breakfast host. I'm of course talking about the Captain America, but yeah,
I did like
we'll
the voice dude for Black Panther there.
He was sufficiently
voice.
King T'Chunka, I believe is what
Yeah.
it is. But I think I'm cautiously optimistic.
Yeah, and
If
it
it
is
does come
making.
out, I feel like it's not 2025 though. I feel like that's if it does come out, that's like
That's
2026.
a Chris Pengelly PS5 Pro game if I've ever seen it.
Yeah, I was going to say it is making like 2025 look quite stacked if that comes out, and obviously your Monster Hunters, your GTA's,
Football
your
Manager
Death Stranding
26,
2s,
you know, the big games.
Football Manager, stuff. Number 3, Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance has moved forward a week to avoid Elden Ring Shadow of the Eltree, but now will launch alongside Monster Hunter Stories and Stories 2's port on PS4. I guess this makes sense because that Elden Ring expansion is going to be a big chunky game. But I feel the people that would be interested in SMT5 Vengeance would also be quite interested in Monster Hunter Stories. I think there's a bit of overlap there of those two games being RPGs.
Yeah, I think so. But I mean, it's difficult. People like that. People are like that are you, Pengi, so they'll just buy both.
Yeah, see, I'm not bothered about Vengeance because I've already played half of whatever's going to be in that game, but I haven't played the first Stories, so I would be more interested in Monster Hunter Stories 1 like remaster out of these two.
I mean, any of them are better options than Elden Ring, though, right, boys?
Right? God damn, I've still got to finish that.
Fuck that shit.
I've still got to finish that for my challenge. Yeah, I mean, I'm quite interested. I mean, Vengeance is funny because like those games are long anyway, and to add more content isn't really a selling point. And you're not that positive about it, Pengi. I know you hate.
No,
Switch
I didn't
now,
think
but,
it was very good. So the selling point of we've done like a game again with like a new story and like a new program. There's like it's already a 50-hour game, and you want me to play 50 hours of that game?
How dare
again.
they? But I am really interested in Monster Hunter
It's
Stories.
good value,
though.
I guess. 100 hours of content if you play both things. Like if new to Xbox and new to PlayStation, you get a lot of content for your money. But yeah, as someone who's already played half of it on Switch.
Yes, but yeah, I think Monster Hunter Stories. I didn't realize it was both games coming to PS4. When I read this story, because I assumed it was just a Switch only deal. You got the second game as a download code with the first game, but to get both games, they're supposed to be really good. Like they're supposed to be pretty fun.
Yeah.
Pokemon
so on the
games.
14th of June, Monster Hunter Stories will launch on Switch, PS4 and PC, and then Stories 2 will also launch on PS4 because it's already on Switch and PC. And there is like packs, like you said, where you can get them physical and stuff like that.
Which I might do, to be honest with you, because I like the world.
Yeah,
and
there's
I like
a code in the
Capcom,
box
so-
for number 2 for Switch.
well, that's
but
fine.
yeah, I think the physical might be only on Switch though. So weirdly, yeah, cool. Number 4, Final Fantasy 16's second expansion, Rising Tide, has been dated for April 18th and will cost $20 or part of the £25 expansion, which was obviously saving you $5. There's also been some improvements coming in a patch for the game, like quick quest options. So once you've done a quest, you can like just turn in the quest quickly, and better icon markers for pun was attended for side quests that are more I'm trying to think of the word, more important.
I'd rather
Them some.
tape my bollocks to a rocket than play Final Fantasy 16.
Yes.
But you,
So is this
Grego?
the big expansion that's...
This is the expansion, so like I said, it's $20 on its own, with the other
How
one was
much to buy both of them together?
so $25.
Which
Okay.
is $19.99 in English pounds.
Yes. There's no price for Rising Tide in pounds, but I
What?
presume it would be 14.99 with the current conversion rate.
Oh, you're being so generous to Square Enix by thinking it will be a fair
Well,
conversion, Pengi.
well, no, because $25 is 20 quid and $10 is 8 quid, which the current one is, so it should be £15 Rising Tide.
Lovely. Craig, don't forget to make a Maths with Pengles jingle for next week, please.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I've kept my Final Fantasy 16 because I thought I'd play the DLC, which means I won't actually ever end up buying or playing the DLC. Because I realised this. I've kept so many games that I was like, I'm going to do the DLC for that, and I never do it. There's
Well,
just too much shit coming out.
Resident
to do
Evil,
DLC,
I
isn't
tell
there?
you every single time it comes on sale because you're like, I've got it. You're
I've
like, I want to play.
I've still got Village. That's
Right,
that's there.
that's what I mean. I keep
can-
texting you like, oh, by the way, that's on
that
sale
in.
for a £5.
That's
And you're
like
like, oh,
£8 now to
Yeah.
get the Rose one. I just don't have the time. I've got Cyberpunk I've kept because of the DLC. That's like 40 hours long, isn't it? When am I going to have the time to do that? I do this, boys. I keep the games and I'll be like, oh yeah, I really want to play more of this when the DLC comes out. And then the DLC comes out and there'll be like 6 other games coming out that week and then it just never happens.
right.
So I say no, I have every intention of playing this DLC, but it won't happen.
A shame.
Yeah.
What about
Pengles, did you sell the game? So are you gonna rebuy
Yeah,
it
I
again?
sold
Is this
the
the
game.
classic Pengles?
Yeah, so I think I've got two things. Either buy like a cheap used copy off eBay, which is mostly what, 25, 30 quid to buy now, and then just buy the DLC, or hope they do like a Game of the Year edition sort of thing. But then the problem with that, if that's like 70 and it's just a code in the box like they're doing with the
I mean,
Elden
you
Ring.
could just borrow Craig's copy, couldn't you, at that point?
Yeah, borrow Craig's copy.
You ask him really
but I was
nicely,
thinking
I'm sure he won't mind.
If I was thinking if the content was on the disc, it would hold its value. That's what
Maybe.
that sort of thing. But if the content is just a code, then I might as well just buy a used copy or
Do you
borrow
just
Craig's.
wait and hope it comes to Plus? What the fuck the
Yeah,
Game
see,
Pass thing's called?
because that's what I did with the first Spider-Man. It came to Plus, and then when it came to Plus, I just bought the DLC, and that's how I played City That Never Sleeps. I think that it's called the DLC for Spider-Man 1.
I didn't even know Spider-Man 1 had
See,
DLC.
it did. Story DLC.
Yeah.
It was critical
Yeah.
to the next game.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but keeping on the Final Fantasy theme, Final Fantasy XIV's Dawn Trail is being dated for the 2nd of July.
Could you pronounce that one more time for me, please, Chris?
Final Fantasy XIV Dawn Trail.
There we go. Down trail. Pangos was saying there. You want to go on a trail? The break it down. Sure, this will be great because Final Fantasy XIV's content's amazing. But
To keep on that news, it launches officially on Xbox very soon. It might even be officially now on Xbox.
I believe it
as
is
well.
officially now. You get 1 month free with your Game Pass Ultimate subscription. Just go onto the Game Pass perk section on your Xbox dashboard. Right? That could work for Xbox.
So
You could be the new Major Nelson, Dave.
I think we do Sergeant Lanky and Private Corporal Bellringer.
There you go.
Private Corporal Gizmo. And we go straight in and we are new Team Xbox. Hey guys. I don't know why I
We
turned
could
to
do
Jackie.
like a little
I don't know.
thing as well. Oh, it'd be so
I'll
good.
be bored. I don't know why I turned into Jackie T then, by the way, Craig. Hey guys, it's me, Jackie T.
two things for you. As now 14 is now on Xbox, and you primarily play on Xbox, are you going to check this 14 out? And then
There's more hope of me playing the 16 DLC Pengles than there is of me checking out Final Fantasy 14.
So hear me out here. The problem with Final Fantasy 14, right, especially with a month free on Xbox, is me and Craig could go and play co-op on it, and it'd be really good and really fun. But it'd be like taking your best friend downtown somewhere and buying each other a nice shot of heroin. And then if you like the taste, you're in trouble because then that's £15. It's like £10, £15 a month, and it's
most probably, yeah.
And how many expansions are we in now? Like 5.
There's 4. Yeah, this would be 4 or 5.
So like
Heaven's Sword,
600 hours later.
Yeah, like it's one of those horror because I played it when we were doing the podcast. I played it on PS5 when I got the first PS5. Yeah. And I played it for like a month, maybe 6 weeks because I've got a character, so I couldn't play the beta on Xbox because I've already got an account. and I loved it. Like it's the best Final Fantasy content for a long time. The story's really good. There's lots of really good classes to play as. It's an MMO, but it's not like WoW. You need to like talk to people and be weird. Like you can just play the game. The combat's actually quite fun with a controller. But I had to stop because I was getting home from work and being like, well, better go and do my daily. And I've just got this raid group to join, and then I was like, oh no.
I think you can get. I can't remember how far you can get or how
on the free to play one. It's like
paying.
It's the first game, which is about 70 hours of content at least, and it's level 60, and it's like all the starting classes. Like you could free to play it, and you need to finish it to get to the next bit anyway. So if you free to played it and finished it, I don't know about you, Craig, but if I put 70 hours into a game enough to finish it, I'd probably then go, you know what, I'll pay £10 to play the next bit, and then so on and so forth. But yeah, it's a good game. Like I'll be honest. Like I know we were memeing. Like I'm kind of tempted, but I think I would just continue my PS5 character. But it is crossplay and cross everything. So
didn't Matey Boy move? Was it this or the DLC because of Elden Ring as well? Did I read that somewhere?
That was the
no.
That was
Vengeance.
SMT.
Yeah. I swear I saw. Isn't it Yoshi P that makes this shit?
Yeah.
I swear he said something about he was moving it. He purposely.
Well, that might have been the last expansion, perhaps. Shadowbringers.
Yeah, maybe that was me. There was a weird quote that I saw of Yoshi P. Because obviously there's PAX East and GDC and stuff happening. They must have asked him about Final Fantasy 16 like content, and they must have asked him about 14, and it was something like, "Yeah, I got to ask the director of 14 about that." He's the director of 14 or something, and something was like
Final Fantasy 14's Dawn Tale expansion is coming a week after the Elden Ring DLC, so Yoshi P can binge Shadow of the Tree first.
Hell yeah! What a man. But yeah, 14 is one of those where I'm like, if you want to try that type of game, it is probably the best one to try.
Item 6 on the news. Shadow of the Damned Hella Remastered will launch in 2024 and will come to PS5, Xbox Series, PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC via Steam.
Hell yeah!
Isn't this Rage like?
It is. It's the one where your gun is called Johnson and there's lots of dick jokes.
Yeah, this was like a 360 game, wasn't it?
Yeah, It's cool. It's like a hidden gem. It's one of those where you're like,
yeah,
cool.
From Suda51.
From that weirdo at Suda.
Yeah.
And is this is it just a remaster or is it?
No, it's a Hella Remastered.
It's literally called Hella Remastered, Craig. So it's.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they've Hella Remastered it, sort of thing. Yeah, I'm getting that to come from PAX East or something that news and stuff. And there was a trailer for it as well, and they're again talking about meets and greets with Suda51 and stuff like that for that game. But yeah, it is supposed to be coming in 2024. Next bit's news. New PlayStation Plus games for March have come out. So Extra's got NBA 2K24, Marvel's Midnight Sun, Resident Evil 3, Lego DC Superheroes, Blood Bowl 3, Super Neptunia RPG, that's only PS4, and the PS5 version of Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, and then Mystic Pillars Remastered, which is a Day 1 Plus release. And Premium got Jackson Daxter Lost Frontier, which is a PSP game, Cool Borders, which is a PS1 game, God Eaters Brass, which is a PSP game, Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy, which is a PS4 game, but technically it's like 3DS games or DS games, and then JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle R, which is PS5 and PS4 versions. Will either of you be playing any of them or downloading any of them?
I probably won't, but Resident Evil 3 is great. So if you haven't already, I'd recommend getting in there because it's very, very good. And it's also a very good completion on Xbox. So I'd imagine it's exactly the same on PlayStation for your Platinum.
Yeah, you get a little Platinum.
Yeah, it's a very fun one to do. You do a few playthroughs, but obviously the game's short, and once you've got your shenanigans like your infinite ammo, rocket launcher, and all that, you can do it in like an hour and a half just running through. Yeah, it's a very good one. If you haven't already played that,
lovely.
Maybe
I won't be playing Resident Evil 3. But I did download Jack and Daxter: The Lost Frontier to play, just to literally talk about it on the podcast. And yeah, PSP games not aged that well. To be honest.
I've downloaded that as well, and I downloaded Marvel's Midnight Suns to never be played again.
Midnight Sun I want to play
Did you
eventually.
buy that?
I bought it and then sold it. And
Did you both buy that?
Yeah, we both buy it. I got a profit on mine. You know what? I did the horrible thing where I bought it. Was like, I'm really excited to play it, and then I installed it and was like, just before I start this, because I've got some stuff I need to finish, I'll just go on How Long to Beat, and I saw like 80 hours, and I was like, oh no, oh no. So I didn't. Lego DC Supervillains, really good. Blood Bowl 3, Craig, is Warhammer, like NFL Blitz. Really good.
Interesting.
Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, really good. PS5 version is really good. It's an RPG. It's really cool.
It is. The PS4 version's already on there, but this is now the PS5 version. So,
Cool Borders 1. Oh, don't play that. That's aged badly. Cool Borders 2 is great, but all probably is also aged bad. It's like SSX, Craig. Most random one on here is God Eater Burst, because they remade God Eater Burst on PS4 called God Eater Resurrection, which I have, because that is a remake of 1. And then they did that, and then they remade that, and they gave it away with God Eater 2. So I don't know why God Eater Burst is on here and God Eater Resurrection is not. But there we go. Bit random. So if you're going to play God Eater 1, play Resurrection, which you can get by buying God Eater 2 for £6 in the current sale.
Oh, again.
Yeah, I have it because it came when we did the podcast many years ago. Me and Chris were into the Vita. I bought played God Eater 2 on Vita, and I got a code for 1, which was cross-buy. So I still have the code for 1, the PS4 version. It's kind of like a Monster Hunter game. It's the same team that did Code Vein, and what's the one that you liked, Craig? I can never remember. It's always on sale. You play 2 characters, and you have like weird psychic powers, as well as it being like hack and slash.
Oh, the Bandai Namco one.
Yeah.
Oh fuck! What is that? Oh, Scarlet Nexus.
Scarlet Nexus. It's the same team and group of games as that. It's like they did their own Monster Hunter game with a story. It's really good. God Eater is a series that is, I believe, it isn't on Xbox. I think it's just PlayStation. But it's one of those. If you
I've never heard of it, so yeah, I doubt it's on there.
The second one's on sale for about £6, and the new one came out not that long ago on PS4. And it's one of those for Craig. I do really recommend, because it's got a really good single player for like a Monster Hunter game, but it's like. It's kind of that same setting as Scarlet Nexus, like futuristic-y, like you get guns and swords, and it's fun. Like, it's a fun game.
What I'm just hearing here, Dave, is PlayStation Plus Premium have had PSP games and PS1 games, and they weirdly put PS4 remasters and stuff on. Where's the Vita games and where's Freedom Wars? There we go.
I'm not even being funny. If they put Freedom, if they did a HD remaster of Freedom Wars, I'd buy Craig his own copy, because I know you'd buy it anyway. But I would be like, here you go, Craig, here's a copy. We'll do 20 videos, because that game is so good. It's like it's kind of similar to God Eater, Craig, but it's like super animated to the point of which you have like a life sentence, and it's like 6 million years, and you have to do things to get that down to 0. But like you can't even like talk to people unless you get it down a little bit. It's so hilarious, and like the setting's really good. Combat was so good in that game. The Vita.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, I went on a tangent there. But yeah, I think that's a good lineup. There isn't one big game, though. I think that's probably people's main complaint, because I don't think the PS Plus Essential lineup was that great this month. So I think it could have done with maybe one more. I don't know, maybe one of their first-party games they haven't put up there yet.
I'm still surprised God of War Ragnarok.
God of War, Gran Turismo 7 I would have done. Just to get more, because the film's now available on lots of things, right? So
yeah.
But there we go.
There we go. Keeping on subscriptions, number 8 on the news thing, Xbox Game Pass games coming soon, and why we'll link into story number 9. So, Lightyear Frontier is out, and so's MLB The Show. They both came out on the 19th. The 20th saw The Quarry. The 21st saw The Evil West, which weirdly was in last month's Plus, and now it's also coming to Game Pass like the month later, so I guess is it 505 published? I feel.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so obviously they've got their money from both PlayStation and
That's
Xbox.
happens a lot now, doesn't it? Because like all the Resident Evil games have come back to Game Pass again, and now obviously RE3's come to Plus. So it's obviously a strategy that these companies have, where it gets to a certain point after release and sales have dried up, and like, right, we just take the money
Especially for
now.
a game like Evil West as well, like a AA game or something. How many people would have bought that for 40 quid and stuff like
Yeah.
that? It makes sense, right? They've got to both of them. Like, there was this, and we'll have it on there, your service, that sort of thing. Then the 28th, we see Diablo 4.
Hell yeah.
Which is mostly the big one here. Also on the 28th is Hot Wheels Unleashed 2. The first one's just left Game Pass. So there's that. I guess another big one, because it's day one release, is Open Roads, also on the 28th, which I'm excited about. Dave, definitely not excited about that one.
Absolutely not.
First of April, we see Ark Survival Ascended. Is that the remake?
It's the remake,
of the first one?
Yeah.
Second, we see F123.
Yeah, which is obviously already on PS Plus.
Yeah, and then second also is Super Hot Mind Control Delete. So any there, I guess it's all Diablo 4 is the one you're looking at, and maybe Open Roads for Craig.
Well, I don't know. There's because of the Quarry I really want to play.
That's good.
I came close to buying that last year. I think it went down to like 20 quid. Or maybe 25. And I think I had a gift card or something. I didn't. So I do want to play that.
But do you have until dawn on your backlog challenge, or did you not put it on your backlog challenge?
No.
Okay. That's fine.
So yeah, I do want to play that. Hot Wheels I couldn't care less about because I tried the first one and it was awful. Open Roads I'll probably give a go. Just because, it's a little Annapurna game, isn't it? And I know it's going to be near and dear to your heart, Pengels. So.
Oh yes, I do love a Annapurna game.
And then you're right, the big one's Diablo, isn't it? Which is not very far away now. Although it is tough, isn't it? Because it's a game we're going to talk about later, which is obviously come out and is very big. And Diablo is very big.
I don't know when the DLC is for that.
It has been
Diablo
delayed,
4.
I think. They've been having to delay.
I know they delayed one of the seasons. Or
yeah,
something.
they're struggling a bit at the minute, I think, Blizzard.
But that's not all the Game Pass games. So we also had the Future Game Show, and there was 4 Game Pass games in that show, and the 3 of them got proper dates. So Harold Halibut got a date of April 16th. Haunty, May 23rd, Still Waits the Deep, June 18th, and then Flintlock, The Siege of Dawn is coming this summer. So any of those Game Pass games tickle your pickle?
Yes.
Which one?
Yes, Chris, yes.
Yeah.
I thought I'd never seen Harold Halibut before. I didn't know what this was. No.
I think I must have seen it I want to say Nintendo Direct, but then I don't actually know it is coming to Switch. But I've definitely seen it before.
So this is gonna disgust Dave. I doubt he's seen it, but it's like a 2D stop motion clay animation sort of thing, right, Pengels?
Yes.
It looked
like
very good.
Was it like Aggro? Was it Aggro Craig Pengi? What was it called, that game? It was a platformer thing.
I have no idea what you're about.
It was like a PS1 game.
PS1.
And it was claymation.
Claymation.
It's going to annoy me.
Broken Pengels now.
I honestly can't.
Come back to me. I'll remember it.
Yeah, no, this looked awesome. I was very impressed, and then I didn't realize this had Game Pass on their logo at the end until after the show. And Xbox put it on their official YouTube account.
Yeah, I think they might have put a weird preview thing or something on their Xbox account. I'm not 100% sure on that.
Yeah, so I'm definitely looking forward to that. Now, Haunty's one of those games where they showed the trailer and they had that musical fucking interlude thing during the trailer, and I was like, I have no idea what I'm looking at, but I'm kind of there. It looked quite a cool art style. It almost looked a bit like what's that? Nobody Saves the World kind of thing, like that top down, like Zelda sort of. I don't know. It looked. I have no idea what it was, but it looked cool. I'd probably give that a go. And then Still Wakes the Deep again looked really cool. Is it like a Christmas horror game on a oil rig in the North Sea where you're playing as some Scottish bloke? What more do you want, honestly? In the 70s, isn't it?
Yeah, from the Chinese room, who did they did Everybody Gone to the Rapture, and what did they do before?
Amnesia, Machine for Pigs,
For
and
Pigs.
it.
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
never played any of their games. I didn't realise that studio's in fucking Brighton as well.
Mm.
Did not realise that.
I've been to that studio.
Yeah.
So
I've not played any of their games. They're all like narrative-driven
Mm.
walking sims, aren't they?
Yeah, I was gonna say Everybody Gone to the Rapture is 100% a walking sim. I don't think you can get much more walking sim than Everybody's Gone to the Rapture. But this looks more video gamey than that.
Yeah.
Weird. That's like Christmas and it's coming out in June.
Yes, yes.
It does
Yeah.
feel like a missed opportunity, doesn't it? A little bit.
Unless you kind of dive into it, I feel like you wouldn't even have known it was set in Christmas. But yeah,
yeah. Unless it takes part in different times, but yeah, I think it's supposed to be like Christmassy setting. So
obviously you won't be playing on Game Pass, Pengi. But any of those take your fancy?
yeah, Harold Halbert looks pretty good. Except it is like the same day as the Final Fantasy DLC, pretty much, and still they should be good because being Chinese room. So now I've only played like 2 of their games, and did they do Dear Esther as well?
Yeah, wasn't that like the OG walking sim?
That was the OG Walker set. Yeah, I've played Dear Esther and I've played Everybody's Gone to Rapture, and both quite good. So be interested in that one. And then there was obviously like the Flintlock Siege of the Dawn, but that's some sort of Souls like.
Yeah, that was shown years ago at an Xbox show, wasn't it? Maybe like 2 years ago.
Yeah,
but it's like a Souls-like shitty thing, and who gives a crap?
No Rest for the Wicked is the future game show game I'm most excited for.
Okay, well, that was the Game Pass one. So
Yeah.
I'm not going to go through all the future game show, but games. But for me personally, highlights out of the Game Pass ones with Dustborn, which is going to be published by Quantic Dream, which I got Road 96 and Mile Zero vibes from the art style sort of thing, but it does look like the gameplay is more involved than like just talking to people and sort of thing. Those games it's got some more thing, and that was coming in August, and then the Heirloom, which looks very Oxenfree from the trailer, and that's coming 2024. It was a Kickstarter game, and you can still pledge later and stuff if you want. They could even add in trailer like a physical PS5 copy was in trailer for a pledge, but it looked a bit Oxenfree, so that's why I was keen on there. So any highlights from either of you? I know you just said No Rest of the Wicked, Dave.
Yeah, Moon Studios are great, so
yeah. Even though they say it looks a bit soulsy, more than Diablo from what I've seen.
I'll try it. Right. Also, Star Wars Outlaws. Just saying.
Oh yeah, that was in there, like one to watch thing. Anything from you, Craig? I know there's one that you like the look of.
Yeah, I mean, other than the Game Pass there's a few actually. There's quite a lot of quite random shit that like I don't know if I ever played, but just looked kind of cool. There was that the horror game where it was an 8-bit. I think it was called like Tenebris Sonia. It's like an 8-bit horror game, but then it had the live action cutscenes.
Yeah,
I looked so random, but like I like seeing stuff like that at these shows. You know what I mean? Instead of just like another Souls-like game or another MMO that no one's going to play. I thought that looked quite cool. There was the dog game, which I think was Farewell. Yeah. Where you play as
something like that.
You play as a little doggo up in Scotland in the Highlands, and you're chasing after a ball. And This is the classic metaphor for depression indie game that Dave loves as well. Because you're bringing color back to the world, and there's going to be some trauma going on with the owner. She's probably just broken up with her boyfriend or something.
It's the Call of Duty of indie games, isn't it? That genre. Everyone's like, "Oh, Call of Duty's so boring." They put it out every year, and then every year there's a game where you play as an animal and you're depressed. Every year.
But you're a doggo, Dave. It's gonna be great.
Right.
There was Spine, which kind of looked like Wet. I thought. Remember Wet from the 360?
We did talk about Wet the other day, actually. I love that game.
Yeah, I never played it, but Spine kind of looked a bit like sci-fi Wet. I thought that was kind of cool. And then
I feel that's from someone like the developer of. Remember, it used to always be someone that worked on BioShock. I feel it's someone that worked on something, and that's why. But it's not BioShock, but yeah, it used to be that, didn't it, as a selling point?
And then the last one I say is Holston, I think it was called, which was the
Oh,
driving horror game, which was like it was
in the
first
Polish
person a
one,
bit.
yeah.
Yeah. That looked really cool. It was like pixel art as well. It looked really good.
Yeah, and then it goes first person and stuff when you go to aim to shoot.
Yeah,
So
and then it was top down for some bits. It was
yeah,
kind of cool.
yeah.
But I was I don't know about you boys. I was really surprised by that show. I thought it was really good.
Yeah, I thought it
I
was.
expected absolutely nothing from it. I thought it was going to be dreadful. When Pengles put this in the chat, I was literally like, "Oh, this is another fucking show I've got to watch." And I completely forgot about it, and then I just randomly saw that it was live on YouTube. So I was like 10 minutes behind watching it. But I was very surprised. I thought it was quite a fun, neat little
Yeah.
show.
I think it was one of the better ones that they've done, and they did, some of their things like Capcom's going to be here, and it's like, oh, what are they going to show? And they just showed another trailer of Dragon's Dogma 2, but they still managed to have Capcom on the show and Namco on the show, and sort of thing.
I like that yearbook thing that they did as well. They did the free games for the like, whatever it was, the ones to watch from the yearbook, which was what was it? Star Wars, Still Wakes the Deep, and Hellblade.
Hellblade, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I was very surprised. I thought even the presentation was quite good. I thought the Ben Star and I don't know what the woman was called. At first, I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be cringy and terrible," but they kind of rocked it, didn't they? They kind of. But yeah, no, I was very surprised. I thought it was very good.
I also thought it was quite good. I watched it today for the podcast. I'll be honest, expecting nothing, less than nothing actually. I was expecting to be like, "Oh, walking simulators," and I was like, "Oh, there's some cool games." I was like, "Oh, there's like 3 or 4 games." I'm like, "Oh, I'd play that. That'd be fun."
No, that's good. That's good, and that was the news.
There is a couple of news stories still on the document I can see, Pengi.
Oh, well, say what?
It says Xbox X Pengi, City are oil corrupt, and Chris loves boats. So that's some addendums. That makes it a Bickers, doesn't?
No,
it's a tough crowd, guys. Tough crowd. Yeah, I think it's a pretty good time. So we can move on. Are we done with the Pengles newsroom?
Yeah, I don't believe there's any news.
I hope everyone loves the Pengles newsroom because it's going to be every week.
I haven't got any late breaking news. So.
We go live to Pengles on the grounds. But before we get to that, let's do the next topic of the show, which is Pengles' pickups. Which we talk about our pickups and our games we've been playing. But we're going to call it Pengles Pickups. Okay.
What happens when they have no pickups?
Well, obviously, Chris has done a video on every channel about his pickups, which you're happy to watch.
Yeah. I don't know how YouTube works, because so maybe someone in the chat can figure put it on the comments. So apparently we had 9 views on the pickup video on here. Now we only somehow got 2, so we've lost views. And I put it on my channel with no sharing, no nothing, so no one would actually know about it. I think I'm over 30 views now. Okay, it's not a huge amount, but I don't get how the lack of sharing, putting out it's up, it gets more than on here, and we've lost views apparently somehow. I don't know how that works. Right. So maybe someone can explain it in the comments. Maybe someone does know about YouTube.
Chaos. I think there's a conspiracy theory against us, boys. That's what I think it is.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I'm the same. I put stuff on my channel and I've got 600 views, 23 watch hours, and I've gone up subscribers.
Yeah.
Everything's coming up, Dave. Apparently.
Yeah, and I've gone, oh, you've checked out the video over here. Go, you should be checking out all our content on Safe Not Free. But hopefully some of those 30 do come over and check out the content over here. So yeah, that's my pickups.
I've only got one question, obviously, because you didn't do this on screen in this video, which I want to be implemented from now on. Craig's calculator, how much did it all cost you?
Lot.
No, we need an exact amount, don't we, Craig?
I can't. Was it $2.90?
Oh. You spent shitloads last week as well, didn't you?
Did I spend shitloads last week? Don't think I did.
I think we can assume yes.
Well, you had Unicorn Overlord, you had Banishers.
And didn't you buy £200 worth of Vita games the week before that as well?
No, that was the month before that.
Oh, that's all right then, because that would be fucking silly.
You know, I jokingly put in the chat, "Oh, Penguins should have bought all 3 of the big games that came out on that day," not actually thinking that you would have done, Chris. And I watched that video. I was like, "Oh no, he did buy all 3.
Yeah.
So
He
he's
did
one of
buy
the
Rise of the Ronin as
two.
well." What are you doing? You've just bought Unicorn Overlord and Banishers, and now you
Yeah,
bought all
if
3.
you watch the video, yeah, I was like, yeah, even sort of.
And then you
say
start
that.
trying to justify it, and you just give up. You're like, "Ah, no, that's what I'm liking it." It's the
I mean,
most
at least
Penguins
he's
thing in
been
the-
honest, I guess.
Yeah, because they had those 3, like I said in the video, I had those, like the 3 that came out on the 22nd, had them pre-ordered before Banishers and Unicorns. So I knew I had those 3 games coming, but it's like, no, I've sold Final Fantasy, I've sold the Series X, I've sold 3 PS1s. Ooh, let's buy Banishers. Ooh, and Unicorn, it's only 35 quid, and now I have 5 new games. Yeah,
But
so,
if
yeah.
Pengos has got a problem, so let's move on from Pengos' pickups for a sec. Let's talk about mine and Craig's pickups.
Yeah.
Craig, you have 1 pickup, I assume.
2.
Technically 2. You do have 2. Oh, such a shame. I should have got a picture of your second pickup before off you, shouldn't I?
Yeah. But yeah, I got the Fallout controller that came for the Xbox.
Just frantically
After
finding
it's-
a picture. Hang on.
After its long journey from Guangzhou to New Delhi to Dubai to Paris to Stansted to Bristol to sunny old Somerset, it finally arrived. And it's just a beautiful looking beast, I will say. It's a
And
sexy little controller.
It's on screen right now.
Well done, Dave. Well done.
I try.
So yeah, that came. I mean, that was quite expensive. I'll be honest with you, because doing it the way they did it is they did it through the design lab instead of like a one that you buy as a
Clever.
limited
It's
edition.
very
box.
clever of them.
Yeah, so that was 80 quid. For that is, I think that's my 4th like special controller for Xbox now that I have.
Oh,
So
yeah.
that's quite cool. And then obviously I picked up Dragon's Dogma as well, which we'll talk about in a bit, won't we?
We will.
Do you want me to talk about what I've been playing, or do you want to do that?
Well, we'll do my pickups and then we'll go back.
Yeah,
we'll
yeah,
circle
go.
back around because we've kind of got a new old format. If you haven't noticed, because me and Craig went on a bit of a binge with the old Pod of War, and we're like, let's try that. So my pickups as well. I've obviously we've all bought Dragon's Dogma, but I have actually bought a second game, and that was Like a Dragon: Infinite Wealth.
Which is great shit.
It was on sale at Game. I had some game points still. I did the naughty thing where if you click and collect a game, they give you a £5 voucher for the next game.
Nice.
So that's how I did with Dragon's Dogma and my points.
Yeah.
And I turned up. They were like, "Oh, we've made Infinite Wealth, £30. Get my £5 off, £25." Boom. Video games, but they only had it on PlayStation, so I bought it on PlayStation. They didn't have any copies on Xbox.
They're all sold.
Well, I think they had about 3. To be
The
honest, with you.
Xbox players love that shit.
Right, we love Sega. Yeah, that's my 2 pickups. So let's talk about what we've been playing. Well, let's just talk about Dragon's Dogma first, shall we? Should we just do topic of the show, Dragon's Dogma, first impressions, and then we'll just go on a fucking tangent. Pengi, what do you think of Dragon's Dogma so far?
It's an odd game. I started playing some of it yesterday, and I felt I only played like an hour, and then my PlayStation says I played for 5 hours. So I was definitely getting engrossed into the game and going on my little adventure with my pawns and stuff like that, and changing them out because I'm now level 10, and the pawns I got from the Ristone are only level 2, so let's get some level 10s and their little bit of banter between them, even though I've had the same dialogue thing about, oh, we can use that material later on about 20 times already, sort of thing. But then it runs very poorly, and even though I've played like 5 hours, like, being not that much story happening and stuff like that. It does feel a little bit Monster Hunter and sort of thing when you, like, especially if you got your 3 pals with you and they're all different classes, like in a Monster Hunter where you would have had your bow and your lance and stuff like that, fighting your big monsters. So it kind of feels like a Monster Hunter with a, I don't want to say proper story mode, but, you know, going on your adventure with your pals and stuff. But it was like, could I have a little bit more story in my RPG, please? And, you know, why is it just not capped at 30 frames a second? Like, why have you got this unlocked frame rate? where I only get 60 if I look at the sky. Just lock it at 30. Or something called a Pro console would help or something. But, by the time that comes out, I would have sold Dragon's Dogma 2. So,
What about you, Craig?
I'm a lot more positive than that. I do agree that the frame rate is not great, especially in the main city. It's very, very poor there. I did watch a Digital Foundry video earlier. Apparently, it's something to do with the unlocked frame rate, and then apparently it's something to do with the frame pacing or some bollocks. And
yeah, because apparently even if you have like a 40-90 thing, and you change all your settings on PC, your frame rate's still.
Oh yeah, it's like it's not great on console, but it's somehow even worse on people's £3,000 PC rigs, which does bring me some joy in my life. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
Fuck PC players, right? So yeah, it doesn't run great, but I do think it looks pretty. I'm enjoying it a lot. I was trying to look at how much I've played them, but it's logged me out of True Achievement, so I can't see it. I reckon I played a lot more of this than I even realised, because it is just such a time just flies on this game, doesn't it?
Yeah, I was surprised how much I did play. Time did sort of flying, but I feel like I've mainly fought just goblins, a lot of goblins.
Yeah. So like I said, I enjoyed the whole It feels like you're going on your little expedition, doesn't it? Like every time you leave the city, you're going to go do something. It proper feels like you're going on a little hunt to do your objective. Because it's very obtuse in a lot of what it wants you to do a lot of times as well. So it'd be like, right, go investigate this at the hidden village. And even getting to the hidden village will be it won't be as simple as you think it is, and you have to figure out what you actually need to do and speak to a lot of people. I really enjoy it feels like one quest could take you an hour and a half easily. Some of these longer ones, because it's so kind of you've got to try and figure out what it is. It's not just like a marker game where it's right, there's a marker here, go talk to this person, then there's a marker here, then go kill this wolf, and then a marker back here. It's very much right, you got to figure out what you're doing yourself, which is sometimes good and sometimes can be frustrating, because sometimes you're I have no idea what I'm meant to be doing right now. And it doesn't really do much to try to point you in the right direction necessarily, a lot of times. But I really like the combat. I've been playing as Archer for the whole time, so I'm really enjoying it, actually. I thought it'd be quite a boring build, but I'm enjoying it. I have unlocked. I've got the Mystic Spearman thing now. It's the magic spear person. I've got the big two-handed sword, and I've unlocked Sorcerer as well now. So I'm probably gonna try switching to Sorcerer tonight, see if I like that, and then I might change from Archer to Sorcerer. But yeah, no, I'm enjoying it. It feels a lot like open world Monster Hunter, I think.
Yeah.
It's open world Monster Hunter. There is a bit of a story in the background, but it's not that's not really the center of the game. The center of the game is right. Here's this sandbox of a world that we've made. Go do this in this corner, and you're gonna stumble across all sorts of stuff on your way to that kind of objective, and that's more the game as opposed to this big grandiose story with lots of cinematics and all of that going on.
The answer to your question is 8 hours, Craig. That's how much you've played.
Yeah, I thought it'd be something. I thought it'd be a lot more than that. Because I'd say 3 or 4, but yeah, time just flies in this game.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, I kind of agree with you both. I'm enjoying it. It feels very much like an MMO. It feels very much
I feel that.
You go here and you'll do this, like you said, you do this little bit on the side, and you'll go to a tower and you'll fight some harpies, and there'll be some chests, and then you'll upgrade your party, and then you'll go back to the main town, and you'll fill your stuff up, and yeah, I mean it's a very strange game. It feels very much like an MMO, and it feels very much like a 360 game, but in a good way. It feels I'm gonna play it, and it's different. But it's not amazing.
I got real Oblivion fight at the start when you especially at the start, in how then it starts. Yeah, it's I did got a bit of that vibes from it.
And I must say, I'm not experiencing as many issues with the frame rate as you guys, but I don't know if it's because I'm playing on a VRR monitor or not, because that could be it. So I have variable refresh rate on my monitor, so it tends to smooth out slight frame rate pacing, because it just kind of normalizes it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I think it's one of those games. it's hitting for me right now. If it continues to hit for me, it's going to be 80 to 100 hours later, and then I'll be like, oh, that was fun. But like you said, the story's fine. It's nothing special. It's better than Final Fantasy 16. So I'm just like, oh, it's way better than Final Fantasy 16. The whole game is better than Final Fantasy 16. So yeah, bite me.
Are you still sword and boarding it, Dave?
So I'm sword and boarding it, and then I went great sword and board, like the great sword, because you can combine skills. My main pawn is an archer / thief at the moment, so I'm trying to combine those two. And then the most important thing is remembering to change out the other ones, because I forgot for a while, and then I was like, why are they so crap? And I was like, oh, they're level 2.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So doing that. Yeah, I think it's from the area I'm in so far, it's fun. I just hope that obviously I know there's multiple places, but I just hope it changes up a little bit as I play. But yeah, it's fun. It's a weird game because it's so hard to like, when you play a game and you're like, oh yeah, this is graphically better than everything else. It's gameplay. It's none of that really, but it's just kind of like a fun game, which it sounds mental as a review, but like it is just fun. Like it's stupid and fun.
It's like, I think a lot of people are expecting to be like this grand like fantasy RPG, but it really does just play more like Monster Hunter than, like you say, like Final Fantasy.
It plays like Dragon's Dogma 1, to be perfectly honest with you. It's just a powered up Dragon's Dogma 1.
Played that game, did they? So that's the thing. So everyone's looked at the trailers and thought it was going to be something else, I think.
Yeah, it's not Souls-like, which I really love. Like, it really isn't at all. Like, other than it being a third-person game where you can have a sword. Like, it really doesn't feel like a Souls game, which is cool.
Yeah, I just started Archer, but I'm now playing as a Sorcerer. I got that, and I'm giving my main pawn the big sword, the great sword.
I think they all look fun, which I think is really interesting.
Yeah. See, I kind of really want to do the magic archer one, so obviously start with archer,
same.
and then I'm now doing sorcerers. Obviously, is going to up my magic skills and stuff. So when I ever figure out or do the quest or whatever for magic archer, it's there. And then like the other, I did have a thief and a mage, mainly obviously a mage from the pawn, but accidentally I thought it was a mage, because you meet other pawns on the travels and stuff, but it wasn't. It was actually another sorcerer, so I took me another sorcerer and that, which did a neat thing because they'd done the quest I was on, and like, oh, I'll lead you to the village and whatever, so I just followed them and they got to the village and stuff like that. It was quite neat, and because there was two of us doing like the same spell, it like did quicker and more damage and thing. But obviously, then we had no healer, so like bin them off and brought back a mage, sort of thing.
Yeah, the pawn system is really cool as well.
But that was kind
really
of
like the pawn
neat. Yeah, but like I said, some of the chat I've had a bit of like the overlap, but I guess there can only be so much dialogue. But then there is some neat. Things like I said, like how this pawn said, I've done the quest already. This is the way, sort of thing, or like, oh, there's a chest up there, and they point to it, and like, oh yeah, there is a chest up there. How do we get to it? So,
I love that you can set your pawns like characteristics as well, and one of them's just simple. And if you set it to simple, they sound so West Country, it's unbelievable.
Right, it's just a constant attack at all times.
That is savage. Absolutely savage.
But there we go. And I suppose, Craigo, what have you played anything else?
Yes. So since last episode, I have finished Infinite Wealth.
Woo!
I think I was fairly close last week. I finished, I think, about 65 hours. I finished on boys. So that's now done. The ending's great. Game's just fantastic. It's just great shit, boys. It's just great shit. Can't recommend it enough. If you like the first one, you're gonna love this one. So that's done. And then I was like, so I knew I had Dragon's Dogma coming on Friday. And in my head, I was like, right, if I get Infinite Wealth done by like Monday, because I've been off the last week, I might start Ratchet and Clank, because that's a week then to play Ratchet and Clank. That sounds about right. But then I didn't end up finishing Infinite Wealth till like Wednesday. And I was like, oh shit, what do I play now? Like, I couldn't decide. I did the classic Dave thing, the paralyzed by choice thing, where you're just looking at Game Pass, and you're like, ah.
Right.
And I think I downloaded like 7 indie games. And I was like, what do I play? I've only got 2 days. And I looked, I didn't realize Shadow of the Colossus was really short. So I looked on how long to beat it, and I was like, oh, it's only like 8 hours. I'll start Shadow of the Colossus. So I started that because that's my backlog challenge on PlayStation.
Mm-hmm.
I know that's a contentious game on Save Slot 3. A very contentious game. So I started that. I think I've killed 9 Colossi now.
Oh yeah, what a boy! Killed 9.
Yeah. I gotta say, I'm quite enjoying it actually. I really like the art style. I think it's a very pretty game. It's got possibly the best horse in a video game in terms of looks.
Argo, yeah.
That is a horsey looking horse, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, a lot of these horses games now, they're these little slim, skinny things. This is a beefy boy, isn't he? He's got a big mane. There's hair all over the place. Looks great. The soundtrack's great as well.
Yep.
I love the lack of UI. I think that with the soundtrack and the graphics and that the vibes of those three things it's just great. And the lack of UI that obviously I played Dead Space remake last year, which I absolutely loved as well. That service needs to come back, and boys, people need to get creative to bring back these like AI-less games, UI-less games. It just looks great, doesn't it? In terms of the actual gameplay, I am quite enjoying the going and the killing the colossi. They're all just basically like little puzzles, aren't they?
Yeah.
And they're quite fun to figure out. Obviously, they all just revolve around just climbing on and just stabbing it in a soft spot, essentially, doesn't it? But obviously, figuring out how you're doing it is quite cool. Some of them are a little bit like, oh, it's a cool concept, but doesn't really work that well. Like there's the one with it's like an eel. You got to swim and
and you got the platforms and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool. Like it's a really cool concept bit. Like by like the third time you've fallen off, you're like, oh, I'm kind of okay. I get it. You know, let me move on now. Well, there's some great moments like the bird one. The first time you figure out what you got to do with that, and you jump and you cling on, and you go flying through the air on this bird. Like it's such a cool spectacle, isn't it? And I can imagine back whenever this game came out, it was.
I think it was 2006.
Well, so pretty like groundbreaking.
Well, I mean,
then,
the PS4 version, I will agree with you, Craig. I think the contention with Shadow of the Colossus, because it's not Last of Us in terms of contention. Like I am fully able to admit that Shadow of the Colossus is a good game. The PS2 version was pretty bad though. Ran like ass. Looked terrible. The controls were awful. Come on, Peggy, go play it now, and you tell me that the PS2 version is still decent.
Yeah, I mean, but I guess at the time in 2006,
yeah, we had Gears of War, Halo 2. They were
that's the thing.
Maybe I'm being maybe
it was like 2005, 2006, but I thought it was like mind blowing at the time that game on PS2.
It's quite funny that you're playing a game that has some very similar things to Dragon's Dogma 2. Even some of the animations are quite similar as well, where you stab in the head and stuff.
Yeah, Klein Cyclops.
Yeah, so I mean, I've enjoyed it. It does. I mean, there's one massive drawback about this game, and that is the camera is fucking terrible.
Yeah,
I think I said to Dave, it might be the worst camera I've ever experienced in a video game.
Which is quite a feat, to be honest with you.
It's horrendous, isn't it? It's so bad. Like, I get what they're going for. That they got this like dynamic camera that like sweeps in, and then sometimes it comes back to look more cinematic and that. But God, it is just unwieldy, isn't it? It's horrific. Even like traversing the world to get to the Colossi is just a pain in the ass sometimes because of the camera. It's so it's like sometimes like you press whatever button it is to get your sword out and then shine it to light to show you which way to go. And suddenly my camera is just pointing up in the air, and all I can see is my horse's ass. And I'm like, what's happened? I'm not even pressed the button to change that. What's going on? And then, like sometimes you'll be riding along in your horsey and the game will look great, but then it will come right down and then close in on the left or so. You're like, right, I need to turn left now. I can't see what the fuck I'm doing. And you're trying to wrestle the camera around the corner, and it's so unwieldy. And like there are times, like I think, like I said, the flying one. It's times like, you're on the flying monster and it's great and that, and I'm trying to trying to move my dude over to crawl across the wings, but the camera's so bad. I'm trying to wrestle that around. You're just like, oh, this camera's hideous, awful.
It's well, I look forward to the final review. I mean, this has long been a game that I need to replay because my only real experience with it is the PS3 port, which isn't,
which is just a remaster,
which is just almost a straight port. As this has obviously been blue pointed, so yeah, I think maybe I might also join you in playing this just to see if my opinion can change or because again I didn't hate the game, but I just was like, it's okay. It's got a lot of problems when I played it. But yeah, I'm glad. It's funny to see you play a game like that, Craig, because it's just it's just not a very great game of a couple of years ago. But you were a changed man. Now you're on the old PlayStation.
Yeah, it's right. I like how basic it is, if that makes sense as well. It's very simple. There's like a very few buttons.
It's straightforward. Like it's not.
Yeah,
and we've had this discussion so many times in the chat, and like me and Chris have had numerous breakdowns about how games have just sometimes just overly a pain in the ass just to play. Like sometimes you just want to turn a game on and play it, as opposed to like going on to 15 online things and like downloading this and getting a wiki guide up. It's like, come on, I just want to play a goddamn video game. So sometimes just turning on a PS4 game on a PS5 and be like, okay, it's telling me to move. The stick is move. I put the fucking sword in the air and it tells me where to go. Let's go. Is kind of fun. But yeah, that's cool. We'll get to Pengi next. I'll just do because I haven't played that much. I'll just get from one. I finished 3D World and Bowser's Fury on the Switch. It was good.
Are you done Bowser's Fury now?
Done Bowser's Fury. Wish they'd make a whole game that's like that because it's a pretty fun game. 3D World's still good. It's just been a game. I have a Switch game on all times where I just kind of like play in between other stuff. But yeah, it's fun. So now I'll be back on Advance Wars. That'll be that. Because obviously I've sold that, and obviously I haven't started Infinite Wealth yet because I'm playing Dragon's Dogma, and that's about it. So Pengi, what have you been playing?
So since last episode, I finished Snufkin on the Switch.
Nice. How was Snufkin?
Pretty good. Pretty good little cozy-ish sort of game, especially after Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is the sort of title thing. Like I said, last week I didn't think it ran very well on the old Switch sort of thing. That's my only real gripe with it. And it doesn't have the Moomin's theme tune from the 90s TV show, but that's also a gripe. It should have that. That would make it better. So that I don't know if I played it. I can't really say finished, but did I 100% Foam Stars last?
I feel like you did. I feel like you mentioned
last podcast. Okay.
Yeah, I think you did. But if you want to bring up Foam Stars again, Pengi, you go for it, mate.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I feel it was after the podcast. I feel it was last Monday or something. I got the 100% in Foam Stars for the trophies, but they did add a DLC trophy which I haven't unlocked and I can't be bothered to unlock, to be honest, because it's the weird PvE mode and stuff. It's like, yeah, nah, that's not good. Sort of thing.
And so it dies, Craigie.
And that's Foam Stars gone.
When I know we've already kind of asked this, but when do we think those servers go then? It's not going to be long, is it? Surely.
I don't know, because they did announce like a roadmap and stuff like that, which they have stuck to at the moment. I reckon it might get till next year, but like early next year.
Oh, okay.
Like maybe like January, like the 2nd or something.
Okay.
Yeah. It might get a year. That's about it at the most, I would think. Of that. So that's Foam Stars. What else have I played? What else have I played? Snufkin, Foam Stars, Dragon's Dogma 2 we talked about. Also played on my Switch, one of my pickups, Princess Peach Showtime.
Nice. And how is Princess Peach? I have been showing footage of me playing the demo throughout this.
Surprisingly good.
It's just a video game, isn't it? It's one of those.
Yeah, it's just a video game. It is very, like, the premise or the setup is very Mario 64 or Luigi's. I was going to say Luigi's Mansion, but I don't think that really did that. Whereas, like, got this little hub, a floor, there's 4 doors to go through. Here's your level on the door. and you got to get a certain amount of gems, or they're actually like shiny jewel things, and then you can unlock another big door, and then you can go into the next room and stuff like that. It's just in the levels. Princess Peach gets a special ability, so I've only done the first 4 sort of levels where she is a pastry chef, a sword fighter, a cowgirl, and a ninja sort of thing. So she gets an ability, and then can use that ability through the levels and stuff. And you get a boss after you've done the full levels and things. So it's very standard sort of Mario setup and stuff. How they've done levels and stuff like that. But yeah, it's just quite fun. You just go to level, become a ninja, and you got to dodge the bad guys. You get little dodge animation and stuff like that, and yeah, and you got to find the hidden stuff in the levels, like the classic Nintendo stuff. Yeah, it's just a very, like I said, classic Nintendo game, but you're just playing as Princess Peach instead of sort of Mario or Luigi. It's not like top tier, Mario Odyssey or anything like that, but it's not dreadful or anything like that. It's, yeah, there could be a word Craig wants to use for this, sort of thing, but in the
Mid
good
as
way.
fuck, Bengals, is it?
Yeah, sort of thing, but in like a good way. It knows what it is, sort of thing, and that's fine. Especially in playing Dragon's Dogma 2, it's a fine sort of a game to play alongside that.
I got something to cheer you up, Pengi.
Pun?
I got something that would cheer you up.
Yeah.
You were moaning that this has had a higher score in OpenCritic than Rise of the Ronin, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't anymore, Chris.
Oh, they're the same now?
No, it's gone down. It's 75 and Rise of the Ronin is 76.
Okay. I was just a little surprised because this game, like I said, like joking with the mid, does feel like a 7 out of 10 video game.
Yeah, but it's a Nintendo game, and the flock are always gonna.
But I haven't played Rise of the Ronin yet to say if that feels more than a 7 out of 10. I don't know, but that's fine. Like I said, I'm playing it alongside Dragon's Dogma, so it's like, oh, we've got this really serious fantasy RPG. Oh, now I got this fun game playing as Princess Peach sort of thing. And as Dave will bring it up, yes, I have played Ping Redux also on PlayStation 5.
Yeah, but you can't escape the trash, Pengi. Okay,
yeah.
You're going to play the trash. I'll tell you all about. I'll let the viewers know.
Yeah,
you're playing the old trophy trash.
I'm playing the old trophy trash as well.
But
because it's
all good fun.
It's a free game, which it is quite a high percentage. I've got the platinum. It's 28%, but for a free game that's a very doable platinum. I'm surprised it's not in like the 80s or 90s sort of thing. But I haven't got the platinum yet. I've still got like 3 worlds to go. But I'm doing like a world at a time sort of thing. But I believe that is all I have played.
How exciting! I'm looking forward to hearing a full review of Peach and of Rise of Ronin. So I enjoyed the demo for Peach, but it was just to me, like I said to you in the chat, it just feels like a very kids game, which is fine.
Yeah,
but I don't.
It does feel like I could see because it has different like levels and stuff. I can see it doing the Kirby things, like the first floor is really easy, and then when you get to the 4th floor or something like that, and the cowgirl stage is like, oh, this is actually quite hard now. Like a Kirby, I can see it doing a Kirby.
It's one of those where if I was a child or someone who only played Nintendo, I think I'd be like, oh, it's fine and it's fun. But like as someone who's got Dragon's Dogma, like a dragon, etc., etc., it doesn't do anything for me.
They complement their
like we said, like
Peach
you are Chris Pengelly, you are going to buy them all, so might as well play them all. But yeah, Rise of Ronin is definitely a review. I can't wait for you to tell me how much you hate that game, because it's a little bit too Souls-like for you. It's a little bit too much like Neo. That's kind of what I'm expecting.
Yeah, will be interesting what Rise of the Ronin will be like when I get to that. Which would be the one I play after Dragon's Dogma 2. That is the plan at the moment.
Very good. Well, 1 hour and 10 minutes in. I think that wraps it up. If you got this far, let us know. If you enjoyed the new format of the show, it's a bit different, but thank you for watching. We will be back next week, and we'll be talking about many things, I'm sure. So, thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.
Bye.